Good morning, friends. Again, the second session of the our chapter number 8, grinding machines and abrasives. Before starting the second session, I would like to recall the first session some slides. First, we learn what is grinding machines, its operations, principle of grinding machines, classification of grinding machines, in which we covered first and second category of the grinding machines. Now so B category also we have covered it. Now we start with the third category, internal grinding machine. The machine is used to produce the internal cylindrical surface. Internal cylindrical surface. Now, as per applications, which object have the internal cylindrical surface? First is the hollow shaft, any hollow cylinder, pipe. So this applications is particularly used for the internal cylindrical surface. So broadly there are three different types of internal grinding surface grinding machines: chucking type internal grinding, plundery type internal grinding, and centerless internal grinding. Let's start with the first, chucking type internal grinding. So as shown in the figure, internal cylindrical grinding is the one of the similarity of the lathe machine boring operations. So as shown in the figure, A is the grinding wheel, B is the workpiece, and D is the particularly infeeds. Infeed means we are providing feed from the D, and C is the reciprocation of the work table. Now C is the reciprocating of the work table is here. The workpiece is fixed on the chuck. That's why it's called a chucking type internal grinding. So as shown in the lathe machine, we have the two different types of chuck, 4-jaw chuck and 3-jaw chuck. So here in chucking type internal grinding, we are utilize chuck and or a face plate, and we mount any object. It will be a hollow cylindrical. Then and then we can use the chucking type internal grinding machine. The workpiece is usually mounted in the chuck, and magnetic magnetic face plates can also be used. A small grinding will perform the necessary grinding with its peripheral surface. Means internal peripheral surface we can cover it, or we can take any bowl also. Okay, so this is the one of first type. Now look forward for the pantry type internal grinder. Now pantry type internal grinder has the two part. One is the rotation of the grinding wheel, and second one is the arbitrating motion of the grinding. So this particularly used where the workpiece is of the irregular shapes, so and cannot be rotated the conventionally as shown in the figure. Means as we saw some elliptical internal surfaces are there, or we can say that when we are putting any object with the center axis of the rotation, and it will not follow that rotation, we learn in the size of lathe. At that time radial circumferences we learn, and if any object not cover that radial circumference, then we can use the pantry type internal grinders. Okay, so this is based on the axis rotation. Next one is centerless internal grinder. So it is the nothing but it is a one of the rolling type arrangements are there. So as shown in the figure, A is the grinding wheel rotation. So A is particularly one minute, sorry. So A is the inside is there and outside is also there, and B is the workpiece rotation, and another two support rollers are there as shown in the above figure. And so first figure is particularly for the front view, and downward side figure is the top view of the object. So any hollow cylinder we can put inside, and we can grind from both the side, internal as well as external side. So this is the very vast application we are using for the piping purpose, any nipple, any flange, which we are utilize for the any different application purpose. So This is the workpiece is rotate between the supporting roll pressure roll and the regulating wheel, and it is ground by the grinding wheel and illustrate here. So as per figure, this is the one of the most important application for internal and external grinding both for any cylindrical surfaces. Now last category is the tool and the cutter grinding machine. So now tool grinding may be a divided into the two category: tool manufacturing and tool resurfacing. Now tool manufacturing is the first when we generate the tool with raw material, and second one is the tool resurfacing. Tool resurfacing we already learned in the second number chapter, lathe machine. In lathe machine, single point cutting tool we are using, and when something is damage is there, or we have to manage the back rack angle, side rack angle, for that purpose we are doing the resurfacing of the tool. Already we learned such thing in the practical manner in our workshop also. So this is the universal tool and cutting tool grinding diagram is there. So for the final tool shaping and the any new tool manufacturing from the raw material purpose, we are using a tool and cutter grinding machine. So here we are completed our the first session is related to the grinding wheels. Okay, so now again before starting the abrasives, I will show you the one video regarding the basic structure of the grinding wheels and grinding machines. Then we will look forward for the abrasives. Thank you for today's session.